Good morning. Welcome to the Get to 20K call. My name is Stephen Yee. Today, I'm actually very blessed to interview one of my good friends, Zeke Torres. Zeke, you there with us?
Yes, sir. I'm here, brother.
Hey,
Appreciate
dude. How are you, brother?
awesome, man. To honor to be on your call, man. I've been looking at these for the last since 8 months, 9 months. So it's pretty awesome to be one of your speakers, brother.
Dude, not only have you been watching, you've been smoking everybody. So it's a good sign. You went from getting to 20K to get to Hall of Fame in 8 months. So, well, let's dive into that a little bit. You've had some background in the insurance business. If you can kind of share with us how'd you found the insurance industry and where you started your practice company to compare to where you are now, just with everybody here, right? Because a lot of people go, man, like I didn't go Hall of Fame in 8 months, dude. You've also not been in the industry like Zeke has too, though, right? So
No, but I got into the industry back in 2000. Well, long story short, I was introduced into this industry when I was about 20, 21 years old. And somebody like a gentleman named how you guys probably know who he is. A gentleman named Ed Milet actually recruited me into the industry at age 21. He found me at a car wash. I was working at a car wash. I was working at a car wash. I was a ticket writer, and he pulled up in his car and he introduced me to the business. And I went down to a meeting. He did my interview and game on. I was sold the dream and came on board, and then obviously I was so fired up, running into walls with no direction at age of 21, and so I was in the business for about maybe a year and a half, and back then you had to have like a securities license in order for you to make any money, right? So you had to have your 663 life health, and I couldn't get that test, so I didn't make any money, but I was still fired up for about a year and a half. So I still stayed around and I got a lot of knowledge from it. But then I left, obviously, because when you don't make any money, what's the point of sticking around?
right.
And so I left and I went to go work for a company called Chrysler Mercedes Benz, and it was just it how could I say, just opened up my mind to other things. And then also too, I came back into the industry. I got introduced to the industry again, excuse me for the noise. Back in 2014, I got back introduced to the business. And it just, timing, I believe, is everything, right? Timing is everything in your life. And for some of you, that was the right time for me. So I started my practice company for about good 7 months with them. And then at that point, I became a broker as well. I started going up the ranks, building a team, and crossed over multiple six figures income, making 300,000-400,000 a year at my practice company. But at the exact same time, I was I was always open for change. I was always open for different opportunities, and because I always say, like, a closed mind, you're blocking off so many other things. Yeah, you might consider yourself successful because you're making more money than your average friend, your family, your parents, and everybody else. But that wasn't me. I was looking for more. And one night, I came across a video. I was just like, man, I was hearing about this company called FFL, hearing about the company FFL. I'm like, what's FFL? What does FFL even stand for, right? And so seriously, I'm like, what does FFL even stand for? And so, and to be honest with you too, like, during the pandemic, man, it was just like a lot of people just started looking at different things, trying to find different avenues to continue to make income. I knew a lot of people that got out of the industry because where I came from, it was a low comp. A lot of people were not making a lot of money, and at that point too, when they're not making a lot of money, and then the pandemic hits, forget about it. They're not making no money,
Right.
right? And so that's what you get into the industry for. Yes, you love to help families, you love to help people, but at the exact same time, you're starting a business. Your business needs to be profitable, right? So I started to run a nonprofit organization. I'm not in for no nonprofit. I'm in for profit, right? And so I was like, man, something has to change. Is it the system? Is it the environment? What is it? I know I'm in the right industry. The financial services is the highest paid industry in the world. I'm thinking, so why am I broke? Why am I not making what I'm supposed to be making? Why am my agent's not making any money? Right? If we're the highest paid industry, why isn't anybody making any money?
Right.
Come to find out, man, the people above us were making money, right? That everybody else was making money, but we were doing all the work, right? We were doing all the work, starting us out at a 25% contract, right? Working our way up to a 35, 45, 55. Highest contract was a 65%, right? I mean, I was getting paid 65% contract, almost make over $350,000 a year at a 65% contract, right? So I'm thinking, man, if I came over here and I just transferred my work ethic and double my comp over here, game over. So for me, nothing changed as far as me. Like my work ethic was still the same. My mentality was still the same. I just found the right vehicle for somebody like me.
Right.
Right. I always say your work ethic will expose you, good or bad. We're going to find out who you are. We're going to find out what you're made of in the trenches here at FFL. You can say, I would say, I always hear about people, man, I was so good at my other company. I was so good at my other company. I was so good at my other company. Bro, yesterday's home runs don't win today's game.
I love it.
Like bring your crap here. Bring your A game here and see what happens.
Right.
Right. Don't tell me what you did yesterday. Tell me what you're going to do now here. I don't care about yesterday. Right. So I just get fired up because I know that I found the right vehicle for me. I found the right vehicle for my family. And most importantly, though, I really found the right vehicle for my agents and for those that really want to run with me. I'm still looking for people on my team to run with me. I'm still looking for people that want to run with me and grind with me and work hard and do whatever it takes mentality, as long as more ethical and legal. Let's go run, guys. Right? Let's go run.
And that's the thing too. Like most people have I wasn't successful at a company. I come here and I become successful. Like you hear those stories all the time, right? But you were someone that was successful. Like you said, you made over $350 a year at the previous company. And so it's like for someone at that caliber to take a clear-cut look and to be able to leave, it's like it opens up eyes because people go, wait. That's just not some small fish in the pond. You know what I mean? Zeke, when we had a chance, for those of you that don't know, I had a chance to take Zeke out in a ride along, and it was probably one of the best weekends I've had. But we were talking about this, and on the way to run business, right? Zeke was like, well, I'm so used to doing IULs and this, and that. I'm like, dude, we're not going to do any of that. All our clients are going to get approved today. They're going to get a policy number today. We're going to be able to shake their hand and let them know they've been approved and actually confidently tell them that they have insurance. Right. And I remember vividly sitting down with, the first few clients, we put the policies in force, and then like we're on the drive to the next appointment and you call your wife and you're like, babe, the client got approved. Like they're going to pay us tomorrow. Right. And like, how different is that? Because you're a vet in the insurance industry. You're not some brand new agent. Right. And so it's like completely changing, putting our clients first and putting a product in place that, like we said, like they get approved immediately. And you don't have to wait for 6 weeks to get a commission because the blood work and all that stuff. How game changer was that for you?
Let me just say this, brother. Like, it was a huge game changer. Mind you, coming from the industry and doing these IULs, bro, sometimes we didn't get paid for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months because the client was still waiting for some documentation, some paperwork. When I was in the home, I would be like, okay, we're gonna do the paperwork. We're gonna get you some coverage. We submit the application. We get 40% up front of the compensation. And whenever the policy issued or got paid out to the client, got issued, we would get the remaining 60% only when we would get the delivery receipt back to the insurance company.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
We don't even do delivery receipts here.
No, but that's what we would have to do. We get 40% up front, but then the insurance company would want the delivery receipt in order for us to pay out the 60%. So we'll get our 100% comp. Right? But like I said, I would be afraid to times to take that 40% up front because we don't even know if the client's going to even get approved. So I don't want to take a loan from the insurance company and then have to pay it back because that client didn't get approved.
Or they get rated or table rated and all that
Then
stuff.
you got to go back to the client and say, hey, you know, this is what happened. You know, your blood, your diabetes, whatever it is, you got to go back and now explain to the client that that's why their insurances went up because of the issue, right? Over here, totally game changer. I don't got to go back and collect any paperwork. I don't got to go and call the clients. I don't go like nothing. Like your policy should be in the mail within the next 7 to 10 business days. If you don't receive it, give me a phone call and I'll see what's going on. I'll find it for you. Right? And that's it. On to the next one. Like when you said, oh, when I was listening to these videos and you told me, yeah, I go, how many appointments do you guys go on in a week over here? Oh, we do about average person does between 25 and 30 appointments a week. I'm like, did he say a week? I'm like, he's like, yeah, a week. I'm like, bro, if we went on 25 or 30 appointments a month over there at my practice company, you were awesome, right? And you were killing it, right? You said 25 to 30 appointments a week over here, and you said, Zeke, if you do that, it's going to be a game changer for you. So my mentality is I'm on between 25 to 30 appointments a week, and it's been like that consistently. I've never differed from that. If for some reason I have less appointments on one day, I'm running a day that I usually have a day off.
Right.
Or suppose, you know, there's no days off for me here, but a day where it's open for me to run business, I'm scheduling appointments to making sure I still have at least 25 to 30 appointments because I know what that's going to get me at the end of the year or at the end of the month or at the end of the week. Right. So that's my focus. I make sure I'm consistent like that. And once you're consistent, then you have consistent income, you have consistent stability, you have a consistent work ethic, bro. Game over, bro. I mean, you can't be. I always say I'm not the most talented guy here at FFL or in the financial services industry, but I'll let you know I'll outwork you.
Right.
I'll outwork you. Let's go.
Right.
Come on, like.
Before we dive into your in-home, I mean, let's talk about how you even get your clients though, right? Because, you know, going back to that car, that was a fun car ride. Because, you know, you were like, hey, man, how many appointments do you usually go on with the same client? I'm like, one. We sit close everything here. And you're like, what? That like, no, that doesn't make sense. We got to go back 3-4 times. I'm like, no, we don't. Watch how we close it and be able to literally comfortably walk away. And then the clients feel comfortable because like you said, hey, the policy doesn't come, call me. I'm your agent for life, right? But you've written over $400,000 worth of business this year in 8 months, right? How many of those people were from your quote unquote warm market? Did you build the list or any of that, right?
Not one, which is kind of crazy. I didn't have to build a top 100 list and give it to Sahir for him to call and see if we can schedule some appointments. I'd have to do a top 25 to give it to Joe to call my people that I'm scared to call. None of that. And none of that, honestly, none of those policies were even warm market. Not one.
Right.
Because why? All my family already has them anyways because I already did that at the previous company. Right? So they don't need more. Right? I didn't need to sell them another policy. But at the exact same time, I didn't have to do none of that stuff, guys. It's like, I don't think people really understand what they have right now with FFL. You know, do not listen to outside noise. You should be like protecting all of that outside noise, right? Because I always say, look at this, guys. It's like this. You continue to listen to you're on this call right now. I'm awesome. You're beating your competition. You should be looking on this call and say, who's not on here? And just say in your mind, I beat them already. I got them. My mentality is like, I got them, right? And honestly, like there should be a lot more people on this call. Definitely. But you guys are the champions. But what I'm saying is you got to check your mentality, right? It all starts right here. I read a quote one time. It says, if you're too tired, no excuses. If it's too hard, no excuses. If you're too busy, no excuses. If you're too early, no excuses. Too stressed, no excuses. Right? So what is in your mind? You should be like, I got him. Game on. So I'm just like that, Steven, and I'm just excited because there's a lot of people that are looking at certain things, that are looking at different things still, and like that's why you're not winning. To be honest with you, because you're focused on other things. You're not focused on the main thing. This is the main thing. Don't. It just gets me upset. I see a lot of FFL agents just, oh, bird, woo, squirrel, woo, and they're listening to all these people. They're not even like, look at their history, right? To succeed, we must first believe that also that we can do it, yourself, that you can do it, and you got to stay focused.
Hey, you want to know the best stats? Like, how corporate released that August overview? Like they said, hey, in August, this is what the company did. And, like there's a few people that wrote over 100 grand or whatever, which is, I'm like, those are like, unicorns, right? But you want to know how many people issued over 30K in August? 233 people issued over 30 grand on their own personal pen. Like, that is what I find joy in, because yeah, man, some people want to build a team, some people don't, but it's like, you're not obligated here. You can go write your own check. You know what I mean? And most people here, like I want to say most, are above 100% comp. And so because they are, it's like they are able to take a lot of that 30 grand that they write. So Zeke, let's dive into your in-home, man. So you make phone calls, you go, you buy leads, you make phone calls. What do you do when you go see the client, right? Like our style is completely different. The way we did it, here, or the way we do it here, is very different than the way you did it back then, right? Fact finding, needs analysis, whatever you want to call it. How does your in-home presentation look like? How long is it? What's the nitty gritty part? Like, share all that with us.
Most definitely. So when I literally knock on the door, I get to the door. For me, I know we have a different, because I went out with you and I seen your presentation. I literally, kind of mirror it. But at the same time, what hindered me in the beginning was I was just trying to go in there and be robotic and just no rapport, but that's not me. I mean, that might work for somebody else, but for me, I'm the type of person where I'll connect with the clients. I'll talk with them, whatever it is, I find something in the home that I can actually talk about, that we have a connection on, right? And I make them feel comfortable. That's just for me. And that's worked for me, because there's times where I just go in there and I'm there for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that we went straight to the application. But when I get there, I just say, you want my shoes off, shoes on, But one thing that I got from you was that I make sure that they look at me when I clean my feet on the mat, right when I get in the home. I make sure that they look at me when I do that. And there's been plenty of times when the client says, man, I appreciate you cleaning your feet before you come into my home. They notice that, right? So every little thing, mind you, you're going there and these people have a visible wall right in front of them. And what you need to do as an agent is you need to start banging out those bricks so you can get to them. That's I see that every time I go into a home. I need to knock out that brick, that brick, that brick, that brick, and then bam, I get the whole pie. I get the whole thing. I really get this. I'm trying to touch their heart. I'm not trying to touch this. I'm trying to touch this.
Right.
Right. And so when I go in there, I sit down with the client. I always direct them to the kitchen table. That was always my mindset. That's what I taught. And I always continue. I'm not sitting on a couch. A couch is where they don't like their family members. That's where all the family members sit that they don't like, on the couch, right? So why am I going to go and sit on the couch, right? So the real family sits at the kitchen table. Remember that.
Right.
All the important conversations anybody has in life are at the kitchen table. That's one. I write that in the book, so I go by it, right? So I have the conversation at the kitchen table. If the TV's on, I go, you mind if we turn the TV off real quickly? Because the information that I'm about to share with you is very, very important. You can turn the TV back on in the next 30 minutes. Okay, awesome, thank you. So I try to just be respectful, but at the exact same time, this is some serious information that we're gonna talk about. We sit at the kitchen table. I open up that book that you made. I made one too, right? Hey, it's okay to copy a cap. Let's say just copy the right one, right? So,
Yeah.
So I made a book. I got my paperwork, and I just dive straight right into it. You know, if it's a mortgage or if it's an instant. You showed me. I carry all my sheets of all my leads in my folder. I have my license in the front. I show them my license. I show them my badge. I'm a licensed advisor to the state of California. Here's my license number and here's my ID, right? And they look at it. Some like, okay, I appreciate it. I put it back in my box. I take out the lead. I said, please, ma'am, I just want to make sure that I verify this information, that this information is yours, and I'm here at the right home. And they look at it. Oh, yes, that's me. Okay, this is your birthday. Confirm. I'll just confirm their birthdays, all that stuff. And then I said, okay, it's a mortgage protection. I go right into it. I start gathering their loan and their name, medical, all that. I give them 3 options, like how you showed me, and how I still do the exact same 3 options. And I go over the 3 options. And usually, sometimes they use it for some reason. They always pick the middle one, right? 9 out of 10 times they're picking the middle one because it's not too expensive and it's not too cheap. It's just directly right in the middle. If it's a CBO, I said I sell the crap out of. Look, man, if you were to pass away within the next 30 years, it would pay off that amount of $225,000. But mind you, if you do outlive that 30 years, okay, they're just going to return all those premiums that you paid into the policy back to 100%. And then I write out the amount of what it actually would cost. And sometimes they do the math right there to themselves, and it matches what I have as cash back for them. And like, I get everything back. I said, absolutely. This is a new program for mortgage protection. Man, a lot of people are looking for this. A lot of people wish they would have had this back when, 2008, when all the market crashed and they lost their home. I'm just selling it to them, right? And then they're like, awesome, okay, I want that. So, well, first I start the application, and we're gonna find out if you're approved or not. If you're approved now, congratulations. They'll send out your packet within the next 7 to 10 days. Give me a call if you need. Literally, if I have to do 2 policies, I'm literally there between 45 minutes and sometimes an hour if I gotta do 2 policies. And if I gotta do 1, I'm there between about 30 to 40 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, just depending, on the conversation goes, right? And then at the same time, I said, ma'am, who do you know that also, I try to get referrals.
Right.
I go,
free business.
Huh?
Free business.
Yeah, I go, who do you know that also might need this type of coverage? Your friends, your family, your uncle, your aunt, your tío. And then I said, who's the loved one? As far as when I get the beneficiary information, I said, who's the loved one that you're going to leave this information to? Oh, my sister, my brother, or my dad, or my daughter, my son. I said, okay, if they're over 18 and they're the beneficiary, just my mindset, I said, okay, I need to speak to them because I need to let them know what you're going to be leaving to them so that I can explain it. Once I get that information, that's just another potential sale for me. Because I'm going to explain what they have, and then there's times that I want one of those as well.
Right.
So I always usually try to get the beneficiary's information too.
I love that. Because, then you take a lead and you go, hey, that $50 lead turned into $2,000 for me. Hey, but I got a referral. Now it turned into $4,000 for me. The ROI is just there, right? It's free business. That's awesome.
Let me share one more thing with you. Sorry about that. You're exactly right. I went to a home 2 weeks ago. It was a police officer. Went to his home, sat down with him, did a mortgage protection for him. And then he says, can you come back? I'm looking for some term, and I'm also looking for something for my wife. I went back on Friday. Friday. I wrote up a $1 million NLG for like $411. It just got approved yesterday.
Nice.
Okay. And I also did a American Amicable for his wife for like $150. Just got approved. And bam. Now he wants to start an IUL for like $1,000 a month because I was explaining that because he's putting money into a deferred comp. I'm like, bro, you can just stop that at any point in time and just redirect that $1,000 and put it somewhere else safely where the market drops, your money's still there. He said, what do you mean? So I went into all of that. So I'm going to be going back and writing up $1,000 IUL as well.
Right.
So it's just that 11, what was it? I don't know, $40 lead turned into thousands of dollars.
Right. And the second sale is always easier than the first one because the trust is already there.
We're way back. And then he invites me, hey, you want to go to Chili's and have some drink, me and my wife tonight? I'm like, bro, I wish I could, but I have to go to another point. I gotta go save another family, you know?
Right.
I gotta go save another family. You know, they're like, okay, well, next time, you know.
I love it, dude. Talk about like, what's your biggest objection that you get in the home and how do you overcome that?
Or sometimes I usually hear, do I need to get it? Like I always sometimes do I really need to get it? And then for me, I was like, do you? Right? I go, no, I try to like, I go, do you? I said, well, and sometimes I even write down, I get a blank piece of paper and I write down the pros and cons right in front of them. Okay, let's talk about the pros if you're getting this policy. Talk about if you pass away, this is what pay out. If you live too long, this is what's going to give you your money back. If it has terminal illness, if you get sick, if you have 12 months to live, it's gonna also pay you out right here, right? Let's talk about the cons. If you don't have it, okay, what's gonna happen? Well, you do pass away, who's gonna end up with that bill? Your brother, your sister, your kids, right? Who's gonna take care of your burial? Okay, who's gonna take care of the property taxes? Okay. Who are you leaving all your debt to? Somebody has to pay that debt. Oh, if you do pass away, you're the only one on the loan. Well, this home goes to what? Probate. Then, man, you lose all your this equity you have heard that I circled. That also was gone. Or that's going to get caught up in probate for over 20 years. And by the time anybody tries to get this home, that equity is going to be gone. Right? And so I usually write down pros and cons right there with them behind the paperwork or on the lead sheet, so that if they don't move forward, they still have that in front of them, right? But usually, do they call you back? No, they usually don't call you back. Like, you need to like close it right there and then, because 9 out of 10 times, you're never going to hear back from that client saying, guess what? I have an epiphany. I want to move forward now. They're never going to call you and do that, you know? So I typically, you know, do I really need it? And then I go over that with them, or sometimes they're like, you know, can you give me some time to think about it? You know, have some time to think about it. I said, you know what the biggest nation in the world is? They're like, Africa. I don't know. I said, no, it's procrastination.
I love it.
You know,
that's good.
And they're like, oh, you're right. I said, whatever good has come out of waiting. Tell me one good reason, what good has come out of waiting? Like, I'd rather be 5 minutes too early than 5 minutes too late.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of clients being 5 minutes too late. I said, who's to know that I leave and next week or so, I get a call from your daughter. Hey, did my mom ever get coverage? Why? Because she just passed away of a heart attack.
Right.
Did my dad ever get coverage? Why? Because he just got in a car accident. And I tell them right there and then, like, I look, guys, you can't be afraid to tell your clients the truth. Maybe that's why you guys are not getting the success that you guys are not getting, because you're not telling them the truth. Because what? You might be the first one in that home to talk about finances and talk about life insurance, and you might be the last person to talk about finances and life insurance in that home.
Right.
You got to make an impact while you're there. You got to make an impact while you're there, you know?
Zeke, I don't think people challenge clients enough.
Man,
when I see brand new agents and they struggle, usually, like, you know, they see the numbers, they run enough appointments, they buy the leads, they do what they need to do, but they get very transactional, or they don't challenge clients.
I have to challenge them, man. These people, honestly, are waiting for somebody to tell them what they need to do.
Yes.
They need somebody to grab their hand and drag them across the line. And then at the end of the day, they're like, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have too many weak agents.
Yep.
To be honest with you, like, Why is it that you and I have the exact same leads? Oh, they must have golden leads. Have you ever watched that? Have you ever watched that movie, Glenn Ross?
Yeah.
I have the golden leads right here, guys. I'll give them to. Why? You suck. You can't even close the leads that you got. And it's not even closing. They always say what? Closing is what? Helping. You can't even help the clients you got or the leads you got because you think that somebody has more better leads than you, more expensive leads than you, or whatever type of lead. A lead is a lead. Okay? Let me just say this. If Steven or myself had the same lead, why is it that Steven and I are Hall of Fame running the exact same leads you guys are running? Exact same leads. Right?
Yep.
Ask yourself that. Just ask yourself that. What's missing in the ingredients? Like, have you ever tried to make a cake? I see my wife always make a cake, right? And if I would make a cake and I miss one ingredient, okay, the cake would come out probably all not tasting good, half tilted or whatever it is. But when my wife makes the cake, she makes sure she adds all the correct ingredients. You might be missing an ingredient in your work ethic, in your phone calls, in your in-home. Something that is not aligning with the ingredients for everything to be what? To help a family. So you got to check your ingredients on all of that stuff, right? So what I'm saying is that, guys, it's all about you. It's all about you. You got, like Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror, the person in the mirror. And you cannot blame anybody else for your lack of success or your success. It's yours, right? It's not my fault. It's not Steven's fault. It's not Trey's fault. It's not Sean Mike's fault. It's not Andrew's fault. No, they're not the ones that are waking up at 4 a.m. to go run leads at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're not the ones making the phone calls for you. They're not the ones doing the in-home. They're not the ones buying the leads from you. Guys, we put too much emphasis like on my other company. Oh, my leader doesn't do this for me. My leader doesn't do this for me. This is what I like about FFL because it breeds independency, not dependency. Right? Like, trust me. I'm glad that I didn't bring a lot of other people from my old company because why? They have the old broke man mentality. Like, what are you gonna do for me? No. Sorry, not here. Not here. What you gonna do for yourself? What you gonna do for you and your family, right? That's what motivates me. You know what really motivates me? When I came up with look at your bank account. That should motivate you.
Yeah.
Look at your bank account, right? That should motivate you. To be honest with you, right? I didn't come here I came here to build a huge organization, but I love to see my agents now winning over here. That's what fires me up, to be honest with you, Steven, is that because I knew where some of these guys came from, and I see what they're making, a couple thousand, 3,000-4,000 a month here. Some making 7, 8, 10, 15. They didn't make that at my old company.
Right.
They didn't do that. But now that I see that they're over here and they're doing that consistently, that fires me up, to be honest with you, brother, because
that's the part that when I talk to big, leaders in the insurance industry, that's the usual conversation I have. I'm like, Zeke, I get it. You made 350 last year. Good for you, bro. How many people on your team made 350? And you're like, not many, or if any. Not many, or if any, right? And then I'm like, right. So the difference is here at Family First Life, we have kids that are like 18, 19, 20 doing that. And the reason why they're able to do that is because we have a system in place. They don't have to make a list of their friends and family. They have clients that literally ask for help. And like you said, if they just outwork their normal competition, which is by getting on agency phone calls, talking to top producers, and just doing the things that they're supposed to do, what naturally happens is their skill set becomes higher and they just sell more. And it's like, for me, the big thing is when I talk to agency managers, I'm like, it's not about you. See, success is what you create for yourself. Significance is what you create for others. Right. And that's the big piece for me. It's like, yeah, I can go anywhere and sell $500,000 worth of insurance. The agents I work with can't, though. And so that's the reason why our model here just works, is because you can take literally any person and plug them into our system. And if, like you said, if they work hard, they're disciplined, they have the schedule in place, they have the structure, things work out.
Absolutely. And I'm just, it just, for me coming over here, I said, okay, I went on a ride along with you in December, and I was only appointed at that point with only 2 carriers. I got my 3rd carrier, which was AID, or Prosperity, like December 29th of 2020.
Right.
So for the first month or two in January, February, while I was going to still get appointed, I was only writing 3 carriers. And but when I started to get the other carriers, I was able to offer more to my clients that I couldn't offer before. And I think that's also I didn't let that stop me, though. Well, I got to get appointed with everybody before I start to go out in the field.
Right? Or I got to get every product guide.
Yeah, I got to learn all the scripts. I got to learn all the products of every single company. I'm like, no. And when you said all you got to do is take a picture of your little sheet and text it to these people, and they'll tell you what to write. I'm like, are you serious? Yep, I did it. I'm like, bro, this is all I got to do. And I don't got to split it 50% either with somebody, my upline or somebody else. Nope, that's 100% yours. I'm like, dude, that just fired me. I'm like, game on. That what made me click, okay, I'm just going to go as many appointments as I can every single day. And at the end of the week, I'll look up and see what I wrote, right?
Right.
I always do that. I'll see what I wrote and then, okay, on to the next, right? I don't let my 1 week I do 15, next week I do maybe 20, but I don't let my past success hinder my future success.
Right. Every week you go from 0 to 0 every week, every month.
I hit the refresh button every week in my mind. So okay, in my mind, you're at 0 again. Right. You're at 0 again. That just, I don't know. I buy leads. I invest in leads. I spend easily over 10 grand a month, easily on leads. Maybe sometimes more,
So to write, you did 400K in 8 months. So let's just ballpark and say that's about, 45,000-ish a month ballpark. That's basically saying you spent 10 grand to net 35.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to me because we talk to people in the company that you came from and others that have a very similar model, and they go, I'll never buy leads. And I'm like, dude, you can write 6 grand all you want, dude, on warm market and referrals. I'm happy for you. It's free money. Right. But I'm not in the business to make 6 grand. I'm in the business to go make more. And it's in what world is 35 grand net buying leads, spending 10 grand to make 45, netting 35, worse than making 6 grand without leads? Just blows my mind, dude.
And what's crazy is that also too, we're business, right? And I also get to write off those leads though too.
Yeah.
Tax write-off for me as well.
Right.
And so, and what's crazy is though, a lot of those guys with those mindset, Steven, I have plenty of conversation with some of those guys over there. And guess what's starting to happen? It's starting to come over here.
Yeah.
They're starting to come over here. And they're contacting me. They're contacting people on my team. And it just, why? Because they see success over here. Because I heard a lot of noise, brother. I heard a lot of noise. And this is all for them too. Eat it up because there's more coming, guys. Right? Because I'm just competitive, Steven.
Right.
I'm competitive, and I just that's how I'm made, man. You know, and I need to make sure that I also to try to transfer my competitiveness also to my team. Don't be combative, but be competitive. Right. You got to have what motivates you? What gets you going? Well, you got to get your juices flowing, man. You know, it's like, whew, I'm a big sports guy. Raider Nation, baby. Raider Nation. My Raiders came up yesterday, baby. Right? But, I mean, I was born in East Oakland, so I got to go for my Raiders, right? I was born in East Oakland. But at the same time, I just have that competitiveness, Steven. And I was, like I said, I did it in sports, and I just brought that sports mentality, that competitive edge to business, right? This is my new game. This is my new sport, right? I want to win championships, right? I want to win. I want to be on, let's go. You know, it's kind of like this more, it's more of the getting to show my team also too, that you can do it. If I can do it, they can do it. I got to lead from the front. I can't tell my team to do something that I'm not willing and able to do myself. I'm in the trenches with them every single week. I buy leads. I make the phone calls too. I go out and see clients. I'm in the trenches with them too. So that's how I earn their respect, because I'm leading from the front.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say do this, and I'm not doing it. And they know I'm doing it because they see it. Right. I'm not just
the numbers don't lie, dude.
You know.
Hey, I'm so glad you talked about that, about being competitive and treating this like a sport. Like, I was reading the other week, and I was reading on something called the finite game and the infinite game, right? So like, you look at sports, there's a finite game, meaning like we play like your Oakland Raiders won in overtime last night, right? It's a pretty funny game, but like that game ends, guess what? Next game happens this upcoming week. And then there's a infinite game that you play for life. It's life. Like you don't get to stop playing life. You know what I mean? Here at FFL, we play both the games, because what I mean by that is, like, a month ends and it stops, and then we have a new month. But at the same time, we play consistently. And I say that because what I've learned is when you play an infinite game, the players change constantly. There's always new talent that comes in, right? Trades are being made, all that stuff. People are getting released, whatever it may be. But the other thing too about FFL that I like is Sean doesn't come out. You know, Sean Mike doesn't come out and go, hey, in 2022, we only have 25 red jackets. Earn them. He goes, hey, man, as long as you hit 400 grand, I don't care. I'll go make them.
Yeah.
Whether it's 10 of you or 200 of you, it don't matter. And see, that's the best part about what we do is, like, you know, when I got started here at Family First Life, I remember the first year when I looked, because someone posted it on Facebook the other day, in 2014, guess how many Hall of Fame producers there were in the company?
How many?
0. In 2015, 2. Then 4, then 12, 25, and then last year was 59. This year, they'll clear over 100 people to go Hall of Fame on their own pen. And we're just getting started. Because now that we add the virtual dimension, right? Because you and I do everything face-to-face. And I love it that way. And that's fine. But some people want to do it virtual, which is great. We now added a second dimension to what we do. Dude, in 2022, I'd be shocked if we didn't have 250 people go Hall of Fame.
At least.
Dude, the convention recognition portion is just going to be Hall of Fame producers next year.
Yeah. How awesome is that, though, man? Man. And I look at that, like, all those lives that are being changed.
Right.
You know, their legacy, their family. You know, where can you go and get into an industry and help a lot of families, and it's a win-win situation all the way around. Like, you're not screwing anybody to become successful, right? Like, you're helping so many families at the exact same time, helping yours.
Right.
It's like, it's a win-win for everybody, man. That's what fires me up, because now, like, when people see that, that's just going to attract more people. You know what? The right ones, though.
Yeah.
The right ones. Like, I always say this. I'm not looking for everybody. I'm just looking for the right people that are looking for us.
Right.
That's all.
But Zeke, the other thing that we talked about too is, like, we're not on the same team. You're not in my downline.
No.
Right. And so, like, I took you on a ride along. You're helping us out doing a call right now. Right. We're gonna meet up later for lunch. Right. But I say that because the culture is differently here too. Because at a lot of places they go, hey, you ain't on my team, so I'm going to give you just enough, but not enough. Right.
I'm a block all whatever's working for me. It's for me. But I'll just give you a little bit. But hope you figure it out.
Right.
Hope you win. Hope you win. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, it's not the culture. Like I said, bro, the culture is so different here at FFL. I mean, starting from the top. I mean, it has to come from the top, right? From Sean Mike to Trey or to Andrew, to Trey, to you, to, you know, and it's consistently, you know. And I honestly, bro, I'm biased, but I know that we're on the best team in the company.
Yeah. Dude, the numbers don't lie, man. Look at how much Andrew's doing. The numbers don't lie.
And just our lineage, bro. You know,
Yeah.
just our lineage. And I'm just as blessed to be, you know, to have people like yourself, you know, that there's plenty of times I've called you for some advice or for some knowledge, and you've always answered my phone call. You've always said, this is what you need to do. Don't worry about it. Go this way. And I appreciate you also being there for those phone calls as well. And, you know, we're all, I mean, I've been in the industry for a while, but not like this.
Right.
Right.
I'll say this, you know, it's like, we've always said this about just life. You don't get to choose your parents, but you can choose your friends. Like in this business, you don't get to choose your upline because that's who you came through, but you get to choose your sideline. And like, I truthfully, honestly say that I've learned more, in my personal opinion, I've learned more from my sideline friends in the business that have no financial ties to me than I have sometimes from my own upline. And it's okay because we return the favor and do the same.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so I say that because that's the culture here. Like I always laugh when, you know, we talk to like some of our competitors, right? And they go, our culture is better than yours. I'm like, dude, we don't talk about our culture because it's just there. Because we don't have to like dangle a carrot in front of you and talk about that stuff.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? And it's like, because the culture we have is our agents go write a lot of insurance and get paid. And that's a good culture to have.
Big time. That's what the day that I woke up, Stephen, when I was in FFL, I think I looked over to my wife, the day that I woke up and didn't have to do another meeting, the 5th or 6th meeting of the week. That's why they don't win, because they're always in meetings instead of going out in the field and helping families. Your meetings should be in somebody's home.
Right, you're meeting clients.
With your clients, right? With your clients. Not like they're so, you know why they gotta, I'll be honest, you know why they gotta do so many damn meetings? Is because they gotta continue to brainwash you while you're so broke to get your focus off while you're so broke.
Yeah.
To continue to get you motivated. That's what I was one of them. You got to be the clown up there in the circus, you know, juggling all these other things, but they're all broke. They're not making any money, which is sad. That's why they do all those meetings, because they need to continue to motivate those people to come back. This is a revolving door. Here, like, bro, man, it's so awesome not to be doing all that stuff no more. I'm just going out there making money for my family. And hey, if you want to run with me. If you don't, I don't have to see you in the office.
Hey, how many meetings you've been to in 8 months? 2?
2.
Conference in LA.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And I spoke at both of them, which is awesome.
Right.
And that's a blessing, because I would have to speak at every single damn meeting that I had to do like every week. You know how tiring that gets? You know, and I'd rather spend my energy making phone calls, going out there and seeing clients and making money. Look, bro, like I told you earlier, I'm doing the exact same work. I work hard every day, even in the old practice company. And I just brought that here, and it's producing income because now I'm focused on money-making activities. Right? I'm focused on money-making activities, and that's the difference. Like, I'm not focused on other things that try to motivate people to make money. I'm now putting my energy on for me and to make money for my family. And that's why I think I've done it in 8 months, because it just produced that, right? And I was in bed for about a good 3 weeks, a month. I had COVID, right? And I was out of commission for a while. and so was my wife. And so but hey, let's go. Let's get it done.
Right.
Right.
Hey man, thank you for hopping on. Any closing remarks as we wrap this up, bro?
Hey guys, I'll just say this. Yeah, I know you guys are at about a million what IP a month right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason why this team shouldn't double by the end of the year. To be honest with you, you guys are so talented. I know a lot of you guys on this team, right? You guys are so talented. And the way that you guys are going to double, you guys, I'm not, to be honest, not because he's on the call, but Steven's one of my best friends in business and now coming in life. I trust him 100%, not only talking to my agents, giving me advice regarding business. And you guys know his story, what he's been through, him and his family. But he's still been there for you guys. He still got your back. He still takes your phone calls, whatever you guys need. Him at the hospitals or whatever he's at, he still got you guys. And it's this team to just step up and show the exact same thing that you guys got his back. And let's get this. Let's double this, guys. Let's double this to $2 million a month because he deserves it. His family deserves it, and so do you guys too. And by you guys doing that, that means that you're going to double your income. You're going to triple your income. Your team's going to grow. Your agents are going to make money, right? It's a win-win situation for everybody, guys. And I'm just so excited to see the future and run with you, brother. And it's game on, man. It's game on. And I just can't wait to see this team explode like you guys are doing right now. And I'm going to see you in a few hours, brother.
Yes, sir.
And, can't wait for that.
Hey, Zeke, I appreciate you for hopping on, brother. Thank you for taking time out your run day to share this with us. And if there's anything I can do for you and your team, as always, do you let me know. All right. I know I look forward to seeing you moving to Vegas too, but just dropping hints. All right, guys. Hey, you guys have a blessed day. Let's close out the week strong. And if there's anything you guys need, please let me know. Be more than glad to help you guys. Have a great one.
Appreciate you, brother.